My name is Arnold Jorge. I'm a writer, director, and actor. And yeah, that's me. So yeah, In Love with the Spirit. It's a short film that I wrote. I think I wrote about 2 years ago. And basically, I write these stories because obviously I have no life. I get bored, so I write stories. And these stories, I put it on. Sounds sad, but I put it on a WordPress that I don't promote. So I basically write stories for myself. So I write these stories, and sometimes I send it out to friends or whatever. And I sent it out to one of my friends, and who's also an actor. He read it, and he was like, "Wow, I liked it." And basically, the story was called His Side, and it's basically about a guy who it's like a monologue. So he's basically talking to himself about how he feels about his girlfriend deciding to leave him due to, becoming serious with God and all these things. And he just doesn't understand because he's not as religious as she is. He's not where she is. So he just doesn't understand it. So it's just the complaints that he would say, the things that he would tell himself out loud that he wouldn't per se say to her per se. And I sent it to him and he liked it. And he was like, "This is epic. I would love to hear the girl's side." Because it's called His Side, he's thinking, I would love to hear her side and see why she's done that. And I was like, that's true, So I started writing her side. Then I thought, actually, let me write it as a short film. As I said, I have no life, I just write things. So I was like, let me write it as a short film. And I was writing it. And then in the space of 2 years, I kept changing it, adding, taking out. Then I was like, actually, this is all right. I want to do it as a short film. So I changed it up. So I made it less about the story that I'd wrote about his side and more just to do with this young girl called Giselle, who is getting serious, with her walk with God. And, it's just the stuff that she's going through, the battles that she's facing, the weaknesses that she's facing, like trying to let go of, the things that she was doing before coming to Christ and all these other things. And it just kind of follows her on her journey. So yeah, that's basically how the story came about, which led it to In Love with the Spirit. It was never meant to be called In Love, it was meant to be called Her Side. But I can't just put a film called Her Side. What does that mean? So, In Love with the Spirit sounded nice. It's a fun fact, it was actually called In Love with a Spirit. And the poster was different. And then I think someone at my church was like, sort of flyer, the old poster, and said, "I haven't heard of these actors, what Nollywood actors are they?" I was like, "What do you mean?" They thought it was a juju film, because like a spirit is, like we talk about. So I was like, "Wait, what?" Like, I've heard of these actors, are they the up and coming ones? I was like, nah, it's like a faith-based film. Like, oh, In Love with a Spirit. So they're like, maybe you should make the A small case. They're trying to help me justify. And then it was mad because as we was on set, Quason, who done the DOP, he kept writing on the clapperboard, The Spirit, every time, and I kept rubbing out putting A. And then later on when that's happened, it was like, I was just like to him, we're gonna have to change the name to In Love with the Spirit, because A Spirit does sound a bit spooky when you think about it. Because A Spirit could be anything. Like what spirit are you in love with, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's a fun fact about the title. But yeah, In Love with the Spirit. It's a good film, you should watch it. So I set up my production company. I was meant to set up my production company time ago. I was meant to partner up with a good friend of mine. Before, meant to partner up and make a production company together. But obviously things happen. So I really was always into having my own thing, you know what I mean? But like I said, I was doing music videos at first. I was directing music videos. So I've always had a passion for directing films and stuff. So it just made sense to now make this my first thing, like my first actual short under my production company, as opposed to, doing it under someone else's, especially when I've done all the work. Including Quason. Let me not act like Quason. Quason done a lot as well. So yeah, that's it. Directing's cool, I like directing. I always direct. Every stuff that I've done, I've directed it myself. Like when me and Jazzy would do, we used to do parodies with like Jay Weezy and A Squeezy. I would direct the shoot. I would write the treatment. And everyone would just be like, "Bro, let's just turn up and shoot." But I'm like, "No, we need to da-da-da-da-da-da." So I've always done that, which is why I made link-ups to your job easy, man. They would just turn up. I'm like, "Let's do that, that." So I've always had that in me. You know what I mean? I like giving direction. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, like when you're someone that thinks a lot, you can see stuff in your head how you want something to look. As a creative person, I feel like any creative's like that. When you write, whether you act. That's why sometimes you go on set and, you know, directors don't like this, but you go and certain actors telling director, maybe we should try this, because you just always have that would look good this way, you know what I mean? Maybe we should try it like that, you know. So I've always had that in me, and it was just something that, you know, I've always done. So directing this was good because I was working with some talented actors and actresses, you know, I had Michael Afuwape, I had CJ Beckford, who's doing amazing things right now in Times in Murray. So it was good giving them the direction, and because they've done their thing already. So you know, it's good to kind of give them direction and then when you watch it back and be like, oh wow, it's come to life because I said do it this way and they did it this way and now it looks this way. You know what I mean? So it was good, man. It was a good experience. It was a good experience, man. It's sick. But like, I've always done it anyway, but this was like a different thing to what I've done already. So it was good. I can't lie, this is the first time me and Quason have actually worked together. We've always been meaning to work together, but every time we've worked together in the past, something's happened. So this was the first time I've worked with him, but I love working with him because Quason is someone that he plays his position. You get where I'm coming from? He doesn't ever try to so he knew on this shoot, I was the DOP. You know what I mean? I was the assistant director. So it was like, you would think that working with two directors would be clashing. We didn't ever clash. Like me and Quason never, at all. Like if I said, oh, let's try this. Like, okay. You know what I mean? And then maybe add his opinion. You got me? And then like, okay, your opinion does make sense. So it was like, it was good. At first I thought, oh my gosh, it might kind of clash. So even when I was trying to hit him up about it, I didn't know, as I was making the call sheets, I didn't know what title to put. Do I put his name first, the director, to put mine? Is he going to get offended? But, you know, we spoke, no, DOP. You know what I mean? I'm DOP, you know what I mean? So it was good to work with Quason, because I feel like maybe if I worked with someone else, we would have definitely clashed, because a lot of people, when I said direction, when you're creative, it's in you. You know what I mean? So if you've got an idea in your head, especially when you're filming it, and someone's told you to film it this way, and when you're stuck in your ways, you're like, you still do it, but your heart's not in it, because you're like, I can see it this way, you know what I mean? So, but it was good working with Quason, man. He's dope. He's dope. I've been writing for time, man. I used to, when I was young, I remember when I was young, I used to read books. I used to love reading books. Obviously, I came from not a poor family. I came from a simple family. I didn't have internet. You know, I got internet in 2005. I remember because my MSN name was K8boy_05. That's when I discovered internet. I didn't know internet was a thing, you know what I mean? So I knew it was a thing, but I didn't know, because remember I dial up and them things, so modems and that. So obviously, when I was young, I used to read a lot, you know what I mean? I used to read a lot of books, and I used to read like Series of Unfortunate Events. I used to read Harry Potter. I used to read just random books, you get it? But then what happened was, I think one day, I already knew this was a thing, but like I said, I come from a simple background. We didn't really pay attention to much because, you know, you're just happy to wake up and watch CITV in the morning, you get what I mean? But when I found out that Harry Potter was turned into a film, I think when it first got turned into a film, I was like, rah, but they turned books into films. That's sick, you know what I mean? And then I remember, so what I had to do was that, I saw that, and I was like, that's sick. I didn't really know that was a thing like that. And then I think Toy Story, I used to watch Toy Story. I loved Toy Story, the way the toys would come to life. So what I would do was I would get toys, like wrestling figures and stuff. So everyone's using wrestling figures to play with. But I used to get wrestling figures and stuff. And then I used to go to my school, which is, go to my school, and when they, you know, textbooks we'd have. So I'd get textbooks, take some home. Sorry, miss. So I'd take some home, and then I would write the story, like stories in them, and then act them out as the characters in it, like turn them into films. Just in my bedroom, bored as hell, because like I said, I didn't have PlayStation and all that stuff. I got everything late, you get what I mean? So I would do that, so I'd always write. But I used to write stories like once upon a time, they lived the da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and then act it out. You get where I'm coming from, like the thing, and make it a film. So that was when I was in like high school. So I think I was like year 5, no, not year 5, or year 6. So I was writing from that long. I was writing from year 6, I was always writing something. Like I never used to write films and stuff, I used to write stories. That's why when like I said, I just write in my WordPress without promoting it. I just like writing stories, you know what I mean? So writing from that long. I don't know how old I was when I was in year 7 or year 6. I don't know how long ago that was either. True, when you're trying to get acting roles, you can't hold your age up. But I don't know, yeah, it was a while ago. There wasn't a while ago. Yeah, it was it was a certain time ago. But yeah, so that's how long I've been writing for, since I was in year 6. The first actual commission I've got as a writer, I don't know if it was the first official, I don't remember half the things, I just do things, but it was like, I think we done something like Lenny Henry had a project, and done like an audition for the project, and I think on the project you'd be a writer as well, and I got the part, and I was writing for it, you know what I mean? And like I said, I've always wrote before, but I was writing for it, and I think that was gonna go through the BBC. I don't know the full ins and outs, but it was meant to go through BBC. I think it was like a pilot, and I was writing for that, and I got a chance to write with one of his writers that he was writing for ages, called Kim Fuller. He's a very good writer. He's wrote like Lenny Henry Show and all these things, and it was like that. I think was the first thing. So it's like getting to understand that experience. That was good, and that transition was nice, because you know you understand like how to write a bit more. Because sometimes you might just write an idea, but then it's like sometimes you can add context rather than words. You know, like maybe getting into a car. You don't have to say I'm getting into a car. Just be in a car. Stuff like that. I don't know if it's making sense, but just off the top of my head is what I can think of. But so it gave me that kind of thing, and then obviously getting to write the sketch that I did for the BBC Three Quickies segment. That was, I think, another one as well, which was good as well, because obviously that kind of helped me to understand what the mainstream per se want and what they don't want. But it also gave me, because I got to work with Nick Coop, who's a sick producer, he allowed me to add my flavour to it. Because obviously when I write, I always write according to my flavour, you get it? So it was good. It's good to do these things, because as you're doing these things, like when you're writing for like these like BBCs and whatever, you get to kind of see how that world works. And then, you can add your own element to it, if that makes sense. So that was like, I think the first type of transition, I think, was from the Lenny Henry thing. Now I was never restricted. Like when I was writing with Kim Fuller, it was sick, because obviously Kim Fuller, he gets it, man. I think he's one of those writers that gets it. So when, it would just be me and him in the room, and then I think Judy Love was also involved in the project. So sometimes it would be me, him, and Judy Love, and we'll just write together, man. And it's like a writer's room, innit? Just bounce ideas off each other, you know what I mean? Just literally sitting in a room, talking. Someone gets up, starts acting out a scene, and Kim will just start typing, and you would type, and so I don't feel like there's restrictions. I feel like sometimes when you get restricted, it's either because they've given you what they want. You get what I mean? So someone comes to you and says, this is what we want, right? And you say someone comes and says, I want you to write about the average working class guy, and you say, yeah, I want to write about the average working class guy. Then you go off and try to add bare urban into it for whatever reason. It's like they've kind of given you what they wanted, innit? You know what I mean? But if they say, we want you to write just as something to do with something, whatever, and you go off and add your flavor, then you come back and they say, oh, take that, add that, that's different. And I think that's grateful, because I've had them processes, if that makes sense, where it hasn't been like, this is what we want, and that's it. It's been like, oh, we want to just try create a show that, it's good for the scene, it's good for the mainstream, it's good for this. Let's try and make it work. You know what I mean? So yeah.